Hi folks, back on the Hudson Super 6. As viewers who've been following the channel will know, it went out on a number of proving runs and then it developed a puncture which led to a stripping of the wheel on the offside rear. Found that the tubes were bad, so ordered new tubes. It already had new Ensign tyres. They'd both been fitted now. Did them myself because it's a locking ring that comes out, but they were a pretty difficult fit actually. They should really have dropped on right the bead right up to here and then pressed down and got the lock ring in, but they took a lot of soap and jumping up and down. However, that's been done, but it's an opportunity to talk about how these wheels fit. There's a taper in here which corresponds to this taper here, and then the other side there's a taper in here and a locking track, and that corresponds with this which goes in. So that taper engages with that when it's fully screwed in. That screws in on the threaded portion here. Now you'll be wondering, why is the whole drum off? Well, I didn't take it off out of curiosity. I've taken it off because when I took the wheel off and was going to put it back, I always tighten the wheel down and then see if there's any looseness, and I found looseness. I found a bit of lift in it. So I thought immediately that it would be the bearing in the hub, but in fact there's absolutely no movement in this shaft at all, and these are half shafts which actually carry the weight of the car. We don't have that now, they float half shafts, but back in the day this was how it was. So that projecting part carries a lot of load, and you've got this flat key and it's tapered, and the hub in here is tapered correspondingly. And what happens is you've got a washer and a nut that pull it on. But I found when it was torqued up, the nut, that it was still loose and it was rocking backwards and forwards. And I thought, how could this be? Well, what happened was that this taper had actually projected through slightly, about 1 millimeter or so in there, with the result that this washer, which I can't believe is a Hudson item at all, it's just something that somebody's found at some point, because it neither fits the thread nor does it really sit that well on that machine face there either. But the biggest objection is that when they've tightened it, all they've been doing is simply tightening against this shoulder, not pulling the taper through the hub. So I've commissioned from my local precision engineers, and the other objection is that this nut with that thickness of washer was run down so far that the split pin was really beyond these slots. So a thicker one is being made to sit on this machine surface, but it's got a recess in it of about 2 millimeters, so it can allow the shaft to be drawn into it a bit, and it doesn't bottom out. So it'll pull it on properly onto the taper, because it's my understanding with these cars that you're not really driving on the key at all. You're driving on the taper. The interference fit there over that large surface area is really what's transmitting the torque, and the key is a sort of a backstop. Certainly should not be driving on the key, because one can imagine that slop develops and eventually there's failure and damage. So I'm very glad that I found that. So this is the double band system. You've got the contracting external band, which is operated by the foot brake, and an internal band which expands really a bit like a conventional drum brake, except that it's a one-piece lining, as you can see, but there's nothing really terribly different in the principle of that. So effectively you've got a drum with an external friction area and an internal friction area. So that's something that stopped with American cars. I don't think they persisted with that really beyond the 1920s. I had a 1926 Buick that had this system, but no, I've not seen that on British cars. But it seems in good shape, this hub. So that, hopefully, once it's pulled up there tight, I won't find any rocking in this, and all should be well. And then I'm obviously going to look at the other side now, because if one side is potentially wrong, it's entirely possible that the other side might be. So that's all for now, folks. Thanks.